friends, it's Clement with Kathy by Design. I'm glad you're joining me here today. I have a really fun little mini album tour to share with you. This is made for the Frilly and Funkie Challenge blog, which is an arm of the Funky Junkie Boutique online store, which is my favorite place to shop. And I've used the Graphic 45 Old Curiosity Shop Deluxe Collector Edition to make this little album. It's made from scratch with chipboard and a bunch of other stuff. We'll talk about that as we do the tour. You can find almost all of the materials for this album at the Funky Junkie Boutique. I used a ton of dies, and I just want to show you quickly so that you can reference them. I also have a snap guide tutorial that will show you how to build this base and has a complete supply list. But Tammy Tutterow has a wonderful line of spellbinder dies. And the base of my pages is this adorable little paper bag envelope die. And I'll show you in the tutorial on Snap Guide how to build those pages. I also made this, the album has kind of a fun mini album inside of a mini album design. And I used her mini tag book. I also used her shorty tabs, her tab set 2, her pom-pom posy die, and then I use some Sizzix die. I have my Tim Holtz Thinlit Friends die, and the lace, the vintage lace die, also Tim Holtz Sizzix, and the gearhead die, also Tim Holtz Sizzix. So let's go ahead and take a peek inside. The album measures about 5.5 by 3.5 inches tall. It has a 2-inch spine. This is a Graphic 45 door plate that I've used here, and here is that Tim Holtz vintage lace die that I've cut and put on either side of the spine. The album has a ribbon closure. These are the pom-pom posies, and I've added stamens to those along with some burlap string, chipboard, this awesome steampunk charm that you can get at the Frilly and Funkie, a pair of vintage scissors, and just a bunch of buttons from my stash. These are those little tabs that I've used down here as a banner underneath the pig chipboard. So let's take a look inside. This is just 4 pages. I have a slash pocket on the first page, and I did kind of a fun thing here. I added some Tim Holtz gears onto this tag, but then I took one of his clock charms and cut one of the images out from the paper collection, put it in there along with a teeny tiny key, and then I filled this, and you have to be a little careful, but it's not that hard. I hit this with some Versamark ink and then filled it with ultra thick embossing powder, or UTEE, UT, whatever you want to call it, and then heated it from the bottom to melt that and make it look like it has a glass face. So I just love that postcard. I think it's fun. And it's a great place for journaling. Add a photo on the back. But here's what I mean by mini album within a mini album. Here are the little paper pockets that I built, and I love these. The die comes with these with a cool insert that you can die cut, and I've used these as photo mounts, held them together with a little mini clip, added a button from my stash, more of those fun tabs from Tammy, and then these make great photo mounts or journaling spots. You could use this, I mean really, you could use it for anything. But here's where I use this little shorty tag album. I made it like a little insert within and added some charms and things. Here's where I use the die cut words, and it's just a fun little interactive element. And you'll see as we go through here I took a little Prima wood icon that the Funky Junkie carries a lot of Prima, and I cut out a butterfly from the Old Curiosity Shop, topped it with some clear acetate, but before I topped it, I filled it. I don't know if you can see that. I'll hold it up. I filled it with a bunch of like little glitter pieces and stuff like that. So it just looks like a microscope. Kind of goes with the steampunky feel. And then this little shorty tag album pulls out from under this belly band. I've used a bunch of Tim Holtz inks, distress inks, and his gear stencil to decorate the pages. And then you can add little tiny photo booth sized pictures in on these little pages. So it's just kind of a fun interactive. Of course, you can do a bigger picture underneath the belly band here. So buttons, more of the little shorty tabs. This next page uses another die cut word, a little wooden butterfly, and then each pocket page has one of these fun pull-out tabs with a button with more photo mounts inside. I just think these little paper bags make fabulous pages for a mini album. This is the second one I've done using these pages. The first one was a Winter Hues album that I also did for Frilly and Funkie. And this page has room to stick photos in behind. I just love this framed image of the peacock feathers. And I did a fair amount of fussy cutting, and I used the new little Tim Holtz tiny snips. They're fabulous. They're super sharp and they're tiny, and the grip is cushioned so it doesn't hurt your hand. Here's where I used gears, another little wooden icon, and again, more pull-out pocket mounts. And this page, whoops, again, see I used this little shorty tag album to make a little fold-out page, which I just think that's so fun. I love interactive things in an album. Here's another little, this one I actually built again into a little album. Here's the Tim Holtz lace, more of the gears. And you can see some of the pages I put paper on, some I left plain so you can journal. Our family has gotten into a thing where we love to do a photo booth at parties and stuff, so this would be a really fun spot to add those little photo booth type pictures. And these don't take long at all. They go together really quickly. Tammy has a wonderful tutorial on her website, tammytutterow.com, and she shows you how to assemble these. I also go over it in my snap guide tutorial. More photo mounts, room for a nice size photo when pigs fly, and then oops, a little paper snip in there. This final page is just another image from the paper collection. More photo mounts. I just glued the paper bag onto the back cover to add another whole page to the album. Here's a look at the album open so you can kind of see. I ran my ribbon with score tape. I colored, this is sticky back canvas, is the spine, and I'll show you in the tutorial how I did this, how I joined the covers together, and then I just colored it with gathered twigs distress ink. So that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick video tour because I know it kind of helps you get a feel for the flow of the album. I don't have a tutorial for how I made these pom-pom flowers. A contract I have with another design team forbids me from doing that, but they're really easy to make, and I'm pretty sure Tammy has a tutorial on her blog. Super fun. So that's it. When Pigs Fly is the name of the album. I'm Kathy Clement from Kathy by Design. Thanks for joining me here today, and go get your craft on.